What a headshot! What a head!
How's it, guys? This is Dayvy, FPL, and welcome back to the Fantasy Premier League video here on my channel. Now in this video, I'm going to take you guys through an updated chip strategy guide. Now this video will focus a little bit more on the triple captaincy chip, as personally I'm looking at the options on when to use this chip over the upcoming game weeks. However, I will be going over the free hit opportunities, the bench boost opportunities, as well as the best wildcard opportunity that I think you guys should take advantage of. So that's something you guys are interested in. Sit back, relax, and let's get straight into it. So as you guys have become used to if you've watched my prior videos, I've used Mikkel Tokfim's graphic in all of my preceding videos. I just think this graphic really lays out the upcoming game week schedule quite nicely. We've got the blank game weeks with the less than ones, we've got the confirmed single game weeks with the 1.00s, then we have the double game week probabilities from 1 to 2. I think for those free transfers, those wild cards and those hits, I think the right hand side, that summation of how many fixtures each team has left to play this season is going to be really helpful on our transfer plan from now to the end of the season. But I thought because this is going to be the start of the video, I would tell you guys about my chip strategy and my updated one and when I'm looking to maybe use the chips. So if you guys don't know, I have 2 chips remaining. I only have the second free hit and then the triple captaincy chip left. I use the wild card in double game week 26, I use the bench boost in double game week 28, and then I use the first free hit in about game week 19. So in terms of the triple captain and the free hit, I've kind of nailed it down to 3 game weeks that I'll probably will be using these chips in, and that's going to be double game week 29, blank/double game week 33, and then double game week 36. So I personally think I'll be using both those chips in at least 2 of these 3 game weeks. It's just going to depend on when to use them. Now currently, because I do have that free hit and no wildcard left and no bench boost, I'm thinking about using the second free hit in game week 36 to try get the best double game week starting 11 as possible. As you guys can see, double game week 36 is going to be absolutely massive, and I think to get the full advantage out of that game week might be to use my free hit instead of my triple captain. In game week 33, yes, this might be a better week to use the free hit because of those blanks and those doubles, but if you guys look at the double gaming probabilities, not the best of teams, and the teams that do double, I really do own a majority of those players. Now the one thing to note is going to be the blank game week projected for Aston Villa and Wolves, 2 popular teams right now because of those double game weeks in double game week 28 that a lot of us do own. But I think game week 31, 32, and then the transfer before 33 will be more than enough to kind of prepare myself to get some doubles and eliminate those blank game week players. But that kind of leaves the triple captaincy chip, and that's why later in this video I'm going to be going through every option from certain teams and certain players that you guys could put that chip on that I think could provide some massive points. So let's say my plan goes ahead, I use the free hit in game week 36, the double game week, the massive one, and I choose to go with game week 33 with maybe just not using a chip. That leaves game week 29, which is going to be the upcoming game week, where we could look to triple captain Mo Salah or Harry Kane. But that's enough of my chip strategy. Let's go on to your guys' chip strategies, where I give you some optimum game weeks to make the most out of these chips. So the first chip we're going to talk about is going to be the bench boost, because I honestly think this is going to be the most simple recommendation that I can give you guys. There's going to be 2 game weeks that I think you guys can choose to use it depending on when you use the wild card. So if you guys did use the wild card in game week 28, 27, 26, I think double game week 29 could be quite a potential for that bench boost as long as your bench players have great fixtures. They probably won't though, because what you probably have done is if you wildcarded in 28, you stacked your team full of double game week players, then your bench this week probably looks like Wolves and Aston Villa. Now those 2 sides don't have the worst fixtures in the world against Everton and West Ham, but I still do think the future game weeks could provide more value. And what game week is that going to be? It's going to be double game week 36 that you already seen on screen. I've already spoken about a massive double game week, and I would recommend, if you guys haven't used the wild card, bench boost in 36, that's going to be the play to go for. Now you guys know I love a bench boost plus a wild card combination, and that's why I'm recommending game week 36, but I still do think if you guys have used the wild card already, you still can get a relatively respectable bench, because basically every team doubles in 36. So to conclude on the bench boost, try and get it in game week 36, but what you can always do is go for a single game week, a double game week in 33. There might be some smaller doubles from 31 to 35. I mean, you can always go for a bench boost whenever you want, as long as your bench looks pretty strong. Now going on to the freer chip, and this one is a little bit situational because as we've seen with prior game weeks, maybe you've tripled up on a certain team and then they blank, then your team is looking in disarray. So it is a situational chip, but I do think there's some landmark game weeks that I would recommend. So I'm going to give you guys 4 options here. I think they're defensive and attacking options. Defensive options, I think that's going to be game week 30. I would probably recommend trying not to go for this, and that's the same reason I've been saying through the prior videos, is that you guys can still get some nice double game week players in game week 29 that have fixtures in game week 30. Your Spurs assets, your Arsenal assets, they double and then have a game week fixture in that blank game week 30, and I think that's going to be worth taking a hit for. But if your team has literally 2 or 3 players, as I've seen some people in my Twitter DMs and the YouTube comments are going to be for game week 30, then you can always do a defensive freet and then use the freet to get a good starting 11. But now we go on to the game weeks where I think you can attack the game weeks. It's going to be these double game weeks coming up. I think game week 33 is a really template freet week just because of the blanks and the doubles. So I think what you guys should do is plan for 33. If you can't get to those transfers and those hits, then you can use the freet. But I also would recommend if you're not going to use a chip in 36 or 37, you could always use the freet there. I think 37 might be one of those interesting game weeks to go for. While it might not be as big of a double as 36, 37 could provide an equally good option as 36 to use your freet. This will just depend if maybe teams have a similar double, maybe they double twice back-to-back doubles as we saw with Newcastle. Maybe 36, 37 could be the case, but if there's going to be a massive difference between which teams double, it could be a nice freet week. So to conclude, the freet is a super situational chip, but I would try attack these doubles and get the best starting 11 as possible, which means using the freet. And then finally, going on to the wildcard scenario. Now, if you guys are going to be wildcarding in double game week 29, that's 100%. I can agree with you that you are preparing for a double and then a blank. But I will say my optimum solution, if you guys have not wildcarded yet, I would wildcard between 31 and 35. So there's 2 kind of situations where you guys can wildcard in this window. The first one's going to be game week 31, game week 32 in preparation for blank / double game week 33. Or what you can do is you can wildcard in 34, 35 in preparation for the bench boost in 36. Now, if you guys do have the wildcard left, chances are you probably still have the bench boost as well. And that's why I think game week 34, 35 could be a nice scenario. What that will allow you to do is kind of dead end your team into blank / double game week 33. Maybe you want some Everton options in that double, but don't want them for the future game weeks. Easy scenario there. Dead end into 33 and then wildcard 34, 35. Or what you can do is take advantage of both and wildcard 32 in preparation for blank / double game week 33 and then reap the rewards hopefully in game week 36. Now, I don't know the exact dates that double game week 36 is going to be confirmed. You would hope that it's going to be about game week 34, but it could be even earlier than that, and that's where that wild card could be absolute gold. But now finally going on to the last chip, the triple captaincy, and as I mentioned in the introduction, this video is going to revolve around the triple captaincy options as personally I'm really looking to use it. So before we get into the chip and the strategy talk, I want to give a shout out to 2 accounts. The first one is going to be Planet FPL Podcast. Now I'm pretty sure you guys know who they are, but they run a podcast. They also upload to YouTube and also do deadline streams. So make sure you guys go check them out. But the reason I'm shouting them out is that in their most recent podcast last week, James did a prediction of the upcoming schedule in terms of the blanks and the doubles. Now, full disclaimer, first of all, he did say that this strategy might not be what actually happens, or this game week schedule might be a little bit off, as he did mention the Premier League can sometimes be a little bit unpredictable. But I do think the schedule that he did create makes a lot of sense, and that's why I have used it as a little bit of a guide. Then the second account to shout out is going to be Ben Krellin, just for inspiration. He tweeted this week about these triple captaincy options, and I have highlighted a few of them, but also added my own. So thanks to Planet FPL and also Ben Krellin for the upcoming talking points. So what I'm going to be going over now is a couple of teams and options from those respective teams, as well as the fixtures that they could potentially be having in the upcoming doubles. Now, I know that you guys don't necessarily have to use the triple captain in a double game week, but I would really recommend going for it just because theoretically that gives you 2 chances of getting a haul. So the first team and the no-brainer captaincy to go for in terms of the triple captain, and the play that I'll probably recommend here is going to be Mo Salah, but you could always go for a Trent, a Luis Diaz, a Mane if you guys are feeling a little bit more spicy, but I would probably say Mo Salah is where it's going to be at for the triple captain. So in terms of the upcoming doubles, Liverpool have 2 doubles coming up. The first one is going to be right on our doorstep, double game week 29, where they face Brighton away and Arsenal away as well. Now this is a little bit annoying that it is 2 away games. I definitely would have preferred 2 kind of games at Anfield, but Brighton and Arsenal, 2 sides that have actually been conceding a few over these prior game weeks. Now, the only hindrance here is that Mo Salah has not been in the best of form, and that's why I think a lot of people are maybe considering going for a Harry Kane this week, but I still do think that this is Mo Salah, the best option we've had in FPL over the past years. So I think this double game week might not be the best, but I still do think Mo Salah can get a haul in either of these games, and that's why I'm heavily considering doing it this week. Now, Liverpool will probably have another double in game week 36, that massive double game week. And that's going to be Spurs at home, and then either United at home or Aston Villa away. Now, the tough part about these upcoming doubles or these doubles in game week 36, 37 is that they are unpredictable, and therefore what's in front of us is a double game week 29 where we don't even know the fixtures that might happen in double game week 36. Now, I don't really know which of these fixtures I would prefer to go along with Spurs. I mean, United away went quite well for Mo Salah. I will remember that as a Kai Havertz captainer, but Aston Villa away could also be quite a good game, even though under CVG they've actually been looking quite strong. But out of these two teams, I would probably say the game week 29 double is probably slightly better than the 36 one. But I mean, if they do have United in bad form or Villa in bad form, and Spurs might always be a little bit leaky against the tougher teams. We're then going to move on to the next no-brainer triple captaincy, another double game week 29 team. It's going to be Spurs, and I think the two options that you probably all consider are going to be Heung-min Son, but definitely Harry Kane. So recently Harry Kane has been in great form. Heung-min Son has also been really consistent, but I think Harry Kane has just edged him on the stats and the output, and I think Conte's got them playing a good brand of football. Now, the thing about Spurs is that they always kind of struggle against teams that park the bus, and therefore in a double game week and a triple captaincy, you guys have to target teams that are going to attack. So in game week 29, that might be the case. United away, Brighton away. Brighton definitely a side that like to kind of press high up, and generally they like to attack, but they do have the potential to maybe park. And then with United, they attack Man City, so if they're attacking Man City, they probably will attack Spurs as well. So kind of combine that Harry Kane good form with two attacking fixtures, this might be a really good triple captaincy option in my eyes. Now, Spurs have another potential double game week. It's either going to be in 33 with Brighton at home and Arsenal at home. So yet again, we have this kind of Brighton fixture, and then the North London derby, which Kane loves to score in. That might be a great game as well. But if the Arsenal game does not get moved to 33, it's going to be moved to 36, where they face Liverpool away and then Arsenal at home. Now, that 36 double definitely does not put a triple captaincy in my eyes, and therefore I think if you're going to do it, game week 29 is probably the one to do it in. We're then going to move on to Arsenal. This is going to be more of a differential kind of triple captaincy if you guys want to go for it. They only have one double coming up. That's going to be Leeds at home and then Spurs away. Now, they do have the double in game week 29, but I really don't favor that. The two fixtures in that one are not that great, even though Leicester have not been defending that well. And if you guys want a triple captain or Arsenal option, I think 36 is slightly better because it is Leeds at home. Now, the next team we're going to talk about is going to be Man City, and Man City are always a side that I like to use the triple captaincy on. There might be some rotation there, but if you guys manage to nail a player that starts both, that's going to always lead to absolute FPL gold. Now, Man City will have one double game week at the end of the season, and that's going to be Newcastle at home, plus either Brighton at home or Wolves away. Now, out of these two teams, don't really think it matters. I think I probably prefer Brighton at home just because Wolves are sometimes a bogey team for Man City. But I mean, Newcastle at home is good enough of a fixture anyways to use a triple captaincy on. So in terms of options, I can think of a Cancelo, a De Bruyne. You guys can go a little bit Maverick on a Mahrez or a Sterling, but I think I'll probably keep it on the Belgian or maybe go for Cancelo. Now, the only thing I worry about is depending on how the league's going at the end of the season, there might be some rotation for Man City. There might be more than the usual pep roulette. I mean, if Man City have wrapped up the league, want to focus on the Champions League, might have some rotation of a De Bruyne or a Cancelo. But if they haven't wrapped up the league, this could be quite a good game week for that triple captaincy. Now, the next team we're going to talk about is going to be Chelsea. I'm pretty sure most of you, with the recent Reece James news, are pretty disappointed. I think against Norwich away, could have had another haul if he did start. But at the end of the day, that is FPL, and it is what it is sometimes. But the Chelsea assets could be nicer options for the triple captaincy, but unfortunately, their schedule is really up in the air just because of all those blanks that they have had. So the first option that Man City could actually have is a double in 34, 35 or 37. Now the respective games there are West Ham at home, Everton away and United away. And the games that could be added to those are Arsenal at home, Leicester at home, and then finally Leeds away. Now, honestly, I don't really know the expectations here. If any of those three added fixtures could happen in 34, 35 or 37, or if they have corresponded them where West Ham at home and Arsenal at home will happen, or Everton away and Leicester at home. I guess the perfect scenario there would be Everton away and then Leeds away. Both those games will be probably quite high scoring. And I mean, Reece James has showed us that he has the defensive form, but also the attacking form if he is fit. But game week 36 could also be a double. It's going to be Wolves at home and then any of the above added ones. Arsenal at home, Leicester at home or Leeds away. And that could also be quite a respectable double if you guys want to go for it. But like Man City, it's a little bit hard to call that starting 11. The Chelsea attack have constant rotation, and you always worry about those injuries in that back line. But this could be a nice little differential if you guys want to go for it, as Chelsea have good form at the moment, and I'm pretty sure at the end of the season, going to have one to have wrapped up top 4. But now going on to our final team in terms of the triple captaincy, and it's going to be Leicester. A little bit of a surprising team here probably, but I know there's those of you out there, absolute maverick FPL managers that want to go differential, and this could be the team to go for. So in terms of options, I would definitely favour the attack. A Jamie Vardy if he's fit, a Daka if Vardy's not fit, a Harvey Barnes, a Maddison. All those attacking options could be quite nice differential triple captains. So in terms of Leicester, they have a lot of games to be rearranged as well. Game week 33 will see them take on Newcastle away and Everton away. Great double in my eyes. I think it could be a nice little one to go for in 33. I would also stack my Leicester options if they do have that double, as even though those are 2 away games, still look like great fixtures. Then in 36, they have Everton at home this time, but then Chelsea away. Probably won't go for the triple captaincy there just because of that Chelsea away fixture. But then go on to game week 37, they have Watford away, but Norwich at home. Now I think you guys can understand why I was favouring Leicester if you guys want to go for a differential triple captain, because those fixtures, Watford away and Norwich at home, look simply outstanding. Now I guess the only unfortunate thing here is that Watford and Norwich are currently in a relegation battle, so come game week 37, if they're still in that battle, these games might be quite cagey. But if they are really relegated, I mean, just imagine those 2 teams on the beach, and with Leicester looking to secure some European football, Jamie Vardy or Maddison or Harvey Barnes could have an absolute ball. So to kind of conclude the triple captaincy debate, I think right now it's a decision of if you guys want to go for what's in front of us, or if you're willing to risk it for some upcoming doubles that could be better than what we currently have. As I mentioned though, it's a little bit hard to predict late on into the season how teams are going to be playing. They couldn't be in the best of form, or like I've mentioned, they might be on the beach with nothing to play for, but that also could be a positive and a negative. A negative because there might be some rotation, maybe players on that hype to start, but it's an advantage as well because if they are playing a team on the beach, those scores could be absolutely massive. But let me know in the comments down below, what triple captain do you guys think is the best out of these assets that I have shown you? Do you think it's all reliable Mo Salah in game week 29, or do you think it's Harvey Barnes like we've just seen against Watford away and Norwich at home in game week 37? But this is basically wrap up the video, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy it. Please don't forget to like if you did, and subscribe if you're new and not subscribed yet. I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow for the team selection, where hopefully our team absolutely bangs it in those last games of double game week 28. But I'm signing off. It's been Dayvy FPL, and I'm out. Cheers, bye.